Hi there, builders. It's Torondor the Builder here. How are you guys doing? I'm here with my little friend. Go away. But we're here in our YouTube Flats land to do a Let's Build today. Today we're going to be building things that are uh, siege weapons. One particular siege weapon in particular we're going to do today is called the Trebuchet. And the Trebuchet was a very large... Seriously, guy, you're gonna... Thank you. You're going to have to leave. The trebuchet was a large, similar to a catapult, only it used gravity to pull down a large weight that was attached to a very long pole, and that pole used a sort of slingshot type basket that would fling a stone quite fast and quite far, and in some cases quite over the top of enemy fortifications. So let's get to it. In the process, I'm going to show you guys a couple of things that I've found in terms of the "Don't Be a Boring Builder" that I think will work out nicely depending on what things you're doing. Um, One thing that I am going to put on mine that you would not necessarily find on all trebuchets is wheels. In many cases, trebuchets were large. They were often built in place. In other words, built in place without any sort of means to move them. The larger ones were often erected from trees that were found in place. But I am going to go ahead and put a set of wheels on mine, at least for the time being. So let's see here. I want to go ahead and get. We're going to go ahead and put our. Whoops. There we go. Oh, actually, that is one we want to keep. Bum, bum, bum. This is going to be the front. And the thing that I have found, and you'll see it better in just a moment, but I've been using these. As you can see, the way the grain runs on the jungle wood is perpendicular, or yeah, it's perpendicular to the trunk. In other words, if this is a trunk, if this is vertical, then essentially the grain goes of the bark goes vertical. But whereas with these guys, since the trunk is going this way, the grain is perpendicular. But what I've found that looks good. Here, I'll show you right here. Is that a little too far? No, that should be good. But if you ever want, oops, if you ever want to indicate that logs have, say, been tied together, tell me that doesn't look like rope or binding or vines that have been wrapped around to create a larger connection. I think it does. So that's what I've been using basically these guys for. We'll go ahead. Where am I going to put that though? Maybe we'll just have one. We'll have one. How about that? Yeah, I think that'll work. Oops, 4. And this guy will be just normal. There we go. Now, I also happen to use them here, too, to kind of indicate that maybe the twine was twisted around. And I say twine, I mean vines, rope, whatever sort of things it is that you have that are being used there. There we go. There we go. Ta-da. Okay. And obviously it's going to be on this side as well. Get rid of you. Dun dun dun. Da 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 da. Oh, nope. You do want to keep these guys going the same way. See, and that's the nice thing. That because the grain of the bark goes a different way, but the log itself goes the same way. It's not like you have this. Oh, why do you have that? That wouldn't be there. No, you're right, it wouldn't. But we can go this way, and it looks just fine. Ta-da! Okay, come out here. Now, this is actually going to go a little further because most trebuchets did have an A-frame to support the pivot point, as we'll see here in just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and put the other wheel on here. And obviously you can make your wheels out of just about anything. You do not have to have wheels. You could actually put this sledge of sorts on the ground directly. That is another option. I kind of like this, doing it this way, as if it were they had some sort of means to take it out there. All right. Now we're going to go ahead, as always, I'm going to use my furnaces as a means of, indicating a metallic bracket, if you will, again. And we, did I miscount? I'm going to miscounted. Well, gosh darn. I have to think about that for a minute. Hold on. Okay, that's a little better. I narrowed it down so that there would be only one. Essentially, you can make it obviously as big as you'd like. For more realistic purposes, I'm trying to make this a bit more in the way of a single swing arm, but regardless of which way you go about doing it, I would probably recommend that you have a single pivot, or excuse me, not pivot, a single, I guess, single block wide swing arm. Yeah, that's it, swing arm. Yeah. Oh goodness, and the calls have already started. Okay, so now one of the things that we're going to do, and you can do this in a couple of ways. Most of them were A-frame in nature, so they would have essentially blocks that were coming up to support this. Some of them would come off of this bar. I'm going to move mine to the inside slightly. Actually, no, I think I will put them out here, but you can do it in a couple of ways. You could use these. Oops. Yeah, you could use these and come off of each side. If I could just do it. You know, something like that, and go down. I, for one, am going to go ahead and use, where's my oaks? Because I don't want to use the dark oak planks. Those I'm going to use for the pivot arm. But we'll get some oak wood stairs. And blocks. I do want some all the way at the top. There they are. Now we're going to go ahead and bring out your dead. Bring out your dead. Now these will, for the most part, be diagonal all the way down to the bottom. So I'll go ahead and put these guys in, since I'm obviously making a number of errors, and I will be back. Alright, I'm going to hop back in here. As you can see, I found a few things amiss. For one thing, because of the length of that, it wound up being out here a little farther than I had, and it looked like it might tip over, so we went ahead and put some additional wheels on. Again, if this was simply just on the ground, it would not need that. But basically, I've got it going all the way up here to brace the top piece, because this is a piece that's essentially going to have all the forces on it. So I will go ahead and pause this again, go ahead and put in the other side, and then we'll get to work on the cross arm. Alright, or not the cross arm, the pivot arm. Alright, now here we go. Now it's starting to look like a proper trebuchet. Now, as you can imagine, you know, something of this size would have been a heck of a thing to have to move around in the field. That's why they were often built in place within siege distance of the actual castle walls, etc., for whatever fortifications, and they were not moved. They were simply placed there. They were installed there. They basically had to be set up facing the walls. It's not like they were easy to rotate. So if you bashed a hole in the wall over there and you wanted to bash a hole in the wall over there, you had to take this thing and move it so that it faced the new direction. Not easy to do. So set day. There we go. And make sure I'm still recording. I don't want to have any more accidents. All right, now the way that this works, there are a couple different kinds of trebuchets. Two main ones. One is a traction trebuchet. We're not going to go and cover that one. But the other one is a gravity trebuchet, and that is essentially what most of them tended to be. And those essentially used a counterweight, gravity or counterweight trebuchet. And they used a counterweight to, darn it, to do it right, which obviously I can't do. But they used a counterweight to go and allow gravity to do the load. Unlike a lot of catapults, ballistas, onagers that used rope tension, twisted rope, things like that, in order to give provide the energy to launch the whatever missile was being used. This one used gravity, and I'll show you how in just a minute. All right, so essentially you would have this guy here, and there was usually I guess we could go ahead and put this on here. Well, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and finish the arm, because it doesn't just stop there. No siree, Bob. It actually comes all the way up. Here we go. Oh, there we are. And how high it came up. Usually it wasn't so much a question of height as it was a question of what they called a force multiplier. Now, for those of you who haven't taken physics, that means that a lot of weight on this end on a short little arm, as it gets pulled down by gravity, takes the lighter load, the cannonball, the rock, whatever was in here, and this really, really long arm, and makes that little pull down equal a great big and fast fling from this end of the from this end. So now you might say, well, why have all this room here? Why not just put this right next to it or whatever? Well, what you had to have on either side of this were, oh, darn it, it's not going to work because it, well, I'll tell you what, we can do this. We can do this. We have the technology. There we go. Ta-da! What you would have is you would have a counterweight. Let's go ahead and let's figure out how we want to do this. Okay, that's looking a little better. Oh, nope, not like that. Again, not like that. Alright, now we're talking. Tell you what, let's go ahead and put... Now, I'm gonna... no, actually I could use those, I guess. Trying to figure out how to simulate this best. There we go. Alright. Now, unfortunately, see, yeah, this isn't going to give me exactly what I want. Because what I really, really want is this guy here to go on the bottom. And I can't get it to do that. Darn it. I really, really, really want the ability... Okay, Minecraft, come on, guys. I really want the ability to put these things on, like, the bottom of this. To go there. And I can't do that. So, we'll just have to pretend, I guess. You know, I don't like having to pretend in Minecraft, because it shouldn't be that way. Anyway, alright, well, we'll see. Okay, good. So basically what we've got is that, and actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab one of these guys. Where's our... oh, wait, yeah. I don't know why they put the stone fence blocks, the cobblestone wall blocks in there. Why those are in there and not in the decoration, I don't know. I don't have a clue. Alright, let's go ahead and get this other guy on here. And 1, 2, 3. Make it look all I just have a major problem putting those guys in, don't I? Okay, and there we are. And let's get our stone. Now, oftentimes these were simply, these were wooden, and you would all you would see from the outside is wood, and then the inside would be filled with rocks or dirt or sometimes just wood. Oh, darn it. See, now I'm not going to be able to put that in. See? And that's why, and that's what I don't like about it. Alright, well, I'll tell you what we can do. We can leave it like that, I guess. Yeah, we'll have to just do that. And oh, I know what we can do. You know what we can do to put something on the bottom at least? We can put these guys on the bottom. There we go. Those are the pins going through from the top. Yeah, that's it. But again, of course, I can't put them on both sides. So it depends on how detailed of a decoration that you really want in terms of, you know, how wide, how far apart you have to set these things in order to make them look good. Ta-da! Is that it? Yeah, there we go. All right. So this is our counterweight. When and basically we go and we pull this end of the arm down, and when we release it, this counterweight pulls down, and it pulls this tiny arm, and it causes this great big arm to arc way up over top. And when it gets to the top, the sling releases, and it tosses that that cannonball or that stone, etc. Now, usually, what is up here at the end. It would often have, see, we don't have anything to indicate string or netting. So let's see, I can try and do it with cobwebs. Oops, there we go. But essentially what you would have is usually you would have like actually you'd often have a trough or a channel. And sometimes it would be made out of wood, excavated down into the earth. Oops. Oh wow! I forgot I made this one a shallow guy here. Oops. Yeah. Well, come on. Let's get it right. All right. I guess I have to be a little further out than that. Come on. Let's get in here. People want to see stuff. Alright. And the reason they would build this is they would want a... they didn't want to have to drag... Obviously, this is a very heavy stone or a cannonball or something like that. And when I say cannonball, I just mean a big ball of metal. It doesn't... obviously, it's only a cannonball if it comes out of a cannon, right? So, that kind of disqualifies it, so to speak. There we go. And yeah. Alright, so basically you would have this attached to the top, and the cloth of the sling would come all the way down to the bottom, and you'd have, let's see, do we have something? Yeah, maybe that would work. And so basically you would put the ball here in the sling, and when this guy goes up, it takes and pulls this, and it flings it in a big arc, like I've said. So that's kind of it. That's a rudimentary this is a rudimentary trebuchet. Now you can certainly go and put other bits of decor on there. You can put hinge pins. Um, you can Again, you can put pins pretty much anywhere to make it look like it's attached. You can go and use the rails to go across the tops, again, to kind of tie things together. Unfortunately, you can't put these across the bottom, nor can you apparently put them across like that either. Well, that kind of stinks. But we do what we can. So that should about cover it. I mean, you can do a number of different things. You can, like I said, you can go ahead and do this without wheels. Obviously, the only thing you have to think of then is maybe put the base down here a little lower so that you can still get the pivot arm in place. And kind of go from there. You can add a little ladder so that guys could get up to the top. All different sorts of things that they might have had. So you can add little braces here and there. Oops. There is a way to put that on top. I know there is. There we go. Ah, there. Haha. There we go. One every other one. Perfect. See, you just gotta trick Minecraft into thinking, thinking something it doesn't want to think. So that's all there is to it. And in some cases, you can even do stuff like that. Well, obviously we don't want to open it, but it's just a question of putting something on there that you can then go and modify. So there you have it, folks. There's our trebuchet. I'm pretty much ready to go and take out nothing. I have nothing to take out. So we'll try another siege weapon here upcoming. Maybe I'll go ahead and build the wall that we're going to take out, and we'll build a siege tower on it and go from there and see what that's like. All right. So thanks for joining, and hopefully you have enjoyed this how to build a trebuchet. Thanks. Bye-bye.